If it was next to something that was very strong in electromagnetic energy, that would be the reason that I was picking it up. But the fact that there was nothing around it means that it wasn't explainable. It doesn't mean it's paranormal, it just means that it wasn't explainable.
Where did it go to on the counter?
Well, it was up to 1 milligauss, which isn't very high.
Yeah.
And we have to, I think, make clear that that was not a high reading. What was unusual about it was the fact that it was localised. It definitely was localised.
So what, I know you, right, say for instance, there's such a thing as ghosts. I have never seen a ghost. I want to see one because I want to be able to.
You need to be relaxed about it.
No, I know, but I want to see one because I want to say yes. I now believe. I don't know whether to believe, and I don't. I'm in right in the middle.
Well, that's not true.
No, but it's something.
We can't prove it. All we can say, what would just happen is this is evidence. Now, electromagnetic energy exists in the atmosphere anyway.
So what would have been making that noise? Just.
It is an what that was. It is a fluctuation in the natural electromagnetic field of this room. Some people theorise that ghosts are drawing on the natural electromagnetic field of a location to manifest, sort of like using the energy, which is why you pick up fluctuations. That's just a theory. But for whatever reason it does occur, that was slightly unusual. And how many times have I said to you, the times when ghosts come are when you're relaxed, you're not thinking about it, we're not concentrating, we're having a bit of a laugh, we're just sat here relaxing and one's come to say hello to you. Perhaps, I'm not saying that as a fact.
Our spiritual medium, Derek Akora, had arrived. He was certainly surprised to find himself in a lighthouse.
A blinking lighthouse.
Come on. Derek, what exactly are poltergeists?
A poltergeist will have to have a strong personality when in the physical body. Strong, I suppose, mind. A determined mind. So, of course, when they leave the physical body, they're still retaining that energy, that extra energy. And that generally, as far as I understand, will be the makeup of a poltergeist in our atmosphere.
They're often associated teenagers, aren't they, because of all the energy that's
Of
around
course,
them,
yeah.
you know,
That's where they get the greatest energy. And also children. Oh yeah, from children to teenagers. But then again, it's, you know, scientific. At times they say, you know, and no disrespect, Jason.
None taken.
Thank you. But they often say, you know, leading from puberty and what have you, and because of the body chemistry and what have you, there's a very strong link. Yes, I agree to a degree on the energy, but not because, you know, the way it is categorised. I don't believe the total picture of the way it's explained scientifically.
Well, the actual word poltergeist is a German word. It means noisy ghost. And poltergeist seems to sort of go down into two separate categories. That is a location-based poltergeist and what is termed a person-based poltergeist. Now, location-based poltergeists are spirits which move physical items around. Either you see them move or you come back and they have moved. And there doesn't seem in those cases to be a central person, such as Marcella said, a teenager or somebody with a lot of hyperactivity around them. Having said that, there's the person-based poltergeist, where there does seem to be a focus of attention for the poltergeist itself, and that can be a teenager. It might be somebody who is very eccentric or has a lot of excess energy about them. The energy that is described, which is believed to be around poltergeist, is psychokinetic or PK energy. I think it's important to note that there are ghost tales and ghost cases where things move and it's not connected to a poltergeist, so it's a bit of a grey area, but they do stem down as those two main areas.
Derek, what are you expecting to happen here tonight at Souter Lighthouse?
Well, when I first arrived, Yvette, and whilst I was still outside, I was very hopeful in the sense at that time that possibly there's activity here in the main building connected to the lighthouse. However, when I walked in, after 5 or 10 minutes, I started to get little bits, little feedbacks, if you like, of residual. What surprised me more than anything else is that the little bits I was receiving and Sam was trying to prompt me with seemed to be taking me out whilst I was in the building, take me out to the building as if I'm linking towards the sea, the water. And then I said, well, okay, at this point, even to this moment in time, I firmly am convinced And I'm hoping sincerely that maybe that when we do the walk, that the little bit of activity, I'd say it's kindred activity. It's a friendly atmosphere. There's nothing negative and alien to me. If it is, it's hiding from me.
In your experience, Jason and Derek, is it likely that there would be a number of spirits? Would they be competing with each other, and would they be from different eras?
Different eras, yes, can be, because of the residual energy and the time spent. It's very easy for me to say, here it is, a lighthouse, so automatically there's got to be ships that are going by. But out there, phew, so many ships, so many wrecks, bump, bump, you know, mines, bang, and wreckages and currents of water. And some of those souls have come in here during those times in visitation.
It's important to know, it's interesting you ask about the different kinds of levels of ghosts, if you like, through different eras. You would expect in any building of any length, that's been around any length of time, they would have different ghosts from different time eras. And I think it's quite, not perhaps obvious, but it's quite, you would expect around a lighthouse that there's going to be shipwrecks. So it's interesting that Derek's picked up on that, because it's something that you would perhaps expect to be around here.
So do you reckon it's time to go? Start the hunt?
Time again?
Okay then.
Yeah.
The team had split into groups. Carl and I were exploring the lighthouse corridor with the help of an EMF meter.
Oh, that's weird.
I feel all right. I don't feel... Just go to those electrical things to prove it's not them. It stops completely.
Oh, I don't like this.
Now this is where we were earlier, where the old phones and
Look, right up to this.
you're right up to the electrical
Look,
bits.
you
It's
get a
not
little
picking
bit
those
there,
up.
listen. Even that.
Would Derek, our spiritualist medium, have an answer for this strange activity?
Okay, now this is the engine room.
Yes.
Are you picking anything up in here at all?
A little bit earlier on, off camera, I did pick up a certain amount of energy.
Right.
And that energy wasn't coming from either myself, yourself, or anyone else, physically. So I feel as if there's quite a bit of movement that has taken place, even to the present day now, in this area. Most definitely a man's movements.
Oh.
A man's movements. I feel it's, you see, earlier I picked up both a gentleman, a man, and a woman, and I feel this is a collective force. The man connected to the woman. In another area, the woman would walk, but a man coming here. I keep on, you see, that name keeps on coming with me. In fact, two names are coming through in mind. And one most definitely is William, and the other is Thomas.
Right.
Not connected.
Okay.
And I want to go with the name. It's, you see, with one of these men, I want to talk about the tobacco and the very, very strong, pungent tobacco that could have been probably, I don't know, rolled or something, but a very strong fragrance from this tobacco.
Do you want to try and move on?
Yes, I'd like
Right,
to do that,
okay,
really,
we'll
yeah.
follow you, yeah,
Yeah,
Derek.
okay.
Derek wanted to revisit an area where earlier he had sensed some spirit activity.
Now, as I come into this atmosphere here, although looking at the present decor and what have you, I feel as if, you know, my mind is taking me again, you know, residual thought, is if I want to darken this area for some reason, darken. And I feel as if presently, you see, I'm getting a feeling here in this atmosphere of covering, trying to block my view.